So, when I was born, I guess I could have been a chicken, or what I am now. I don't even know what that is. I wish I had some math to cheer me up, though. Huh. Yeah, something was familiar about that problem, and it was on a different worksheet, but all the other problems were different. So I'm just going to keep rocking. When you have a power of a power, remember you multiply the powers. So that, I'm just going to sit that right there, and this x to the 7/4 on the bottom. 5/3 minus 2, or 3/5 minus 2/5 is 1/5. Luckily, when you subtract those two numbers, you get a positive, so it's left on the top. This 14 minus 7/4, I'm going to do this work right here. 14 you can write as a fraction. 14 is, hold on, let me see, 14 times 4 is 70, or 56. So this is 56/4. That's the number 14. Minus 7. And if you subtract those, that's not a 6, that's a 4, 56. You have 49/4. Okay? And again, that's positive. So you have x to the 49/4 times y to the 1/5. I'm going to leave that just the way it is. If we had a negative power, or if we had a fractional power in the denominator, we'd have to do something. Okay. Before I take everything to the third power, I'm going to just get 1x, 1y, and 1z. Okay, so 2, 1/5 minus 1/2, sadly. 1/5 minus. Is negative 3/10. So this is the power I have on x. The y is 4 minus 1 is 3, so y to the third, and z. Okay, and that's all to the third power still. So now I can take each thing to the third power. 2 to the third power is 8. Y to the third power is y to the 9th. Z to the third power, that's all on the top. On the bottom, it's negative 10/3 to the third power is still negative 3/10 to the power of 3. You multiply the power, so that's negative 9/10. But since it's on the bottom, since it's on the top, we can move it to the bottom and make that power positive. So we have x to the 9/10 on the bottom. Remember the way that works, we need the next whole number. And the next whole number is 10/10, because that's 1. So you multiply the top and the bottom by x to the 1/10. Now on the bottom, I've got x to the 10/10, which is just x. And on the top, I have 8, x to the 1/10, y to the 9th, z to the third, and that is the answer to number 5. It's a little funky. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Actually, the 12 and the 3 reduced to the number 4, so I'm just going to write that on the top. 2/3 minus 1/2 is 1/6. 1/6. A to the 1/6. B, 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. B to the 1/2. C, 4 minus 1 is 3. C to the third. Oh, I don't need this division bar at all. There aren't any negative powers. Oh, not yet. There will be. We'll take that to the power of negative 2. 4 to the negative 2 is just 1 over 4 squared. I know 4 squared is 16. A to the 6th, 1/6 times negative 2. 1/6 times negative 2 is negative 2/6. Negative 2/6, which reduces to negative 1/3. A to the 1/3 on the bottom. 1/2 times negative 2 is negative 1, so B to the 1 on the bottom. 3 times negative 2 is 6, so C to the 6 on the bottom. The only problem we have is this A to the 1/3, because you can't have fractional powers in the denominator. So it's not too bad. The next whole number from 1/3 is 1, so we need to add 2/3 to 1/3 to get that single A on the bottom. But you multiply A to the 2/3 on the top also. And that leaves just A to the 2/3 on the top. So there is the answer. Okay? Hopefully we get lucky. 1024, let's see if that's a 5th root. 1024 to the power of 1 divided by 5. 4, good. Oh, this will be an easy one. This is the 5th root of 4 to the 5th power, A to the 10th, B to the 20th. So the 5th root of 4 to the 5th is 4. The 5th root of A to the 10th, there's 2 A to the 5ths there, so it's A squared. Remember, 10 divided by 5 is 2. 20 divided by 5 is 4, so it's B to the 4th. Okay? Ooh, I know something about 250. I'm going to fold this up and do a little extra work here. 250 is 1 times 125. And 125 is 5/4. So 250 is, it's 2 times 125. It's 2 times 5 times 7 times 5. 2 times, that's 3 5s. Okay. X to the 13th is x to the 12th times x. So I'm going to write that down. X to the 12th times another x. So that's 13 of them. This is y to the 12th. Remember, that's the 3rd root. So everything we have 3 of, we can take 1 out. So 1 5 comes out. We have 4 3s of x's, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 1x to the 4th comes out. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Y to the 4th comes out. And everything that's left in stays in. So that 2 stays in, that x stays in. And that's it. This is just the 2nd root, so that's a little easier. I know 18 is 9 times 2. And 9, if we take the square root, we get 3. So there's already a 3 out. And inside is 9 times 2. There's already a 5 out. Inside is 4, which is a perfect square, so a 2 will come out. This is the square root, so x to the 14th times x. It's the biggest number inside 15 that can be divided by 2. Y to the 10th can stay. Z, you can't do anything with it. So what comes out? This 3 comes out. This 3 comes out. 2 stays in. This 2 comes out. This y, or x to the 7th comes out. And this y to the 5th comes out. This x stays in. And that z stays in. Okay, so outside we've got 18, x to the 7th, y to the 5th, times the square root of 2xz. And that's it. Okay, 6581, hopefully. 6581 to the power of 1/8. Dang it. Oh, it's 6561. That could be good luck. 3, that's good news. Okay, so let's do this. 8th root, so that's 3 to the 8th. I know the biggest multiple of 8, less than 34, is 32. So it's a to the 32 times a squared. And, oh, this one's close, but no. The biggest multiple of 8, less than 23, is 16. So it's b to the 16 times b to the 7th. Okay? Remember, you can take 1 out for every 8. So 1, 3 comes out. 4 A's come out. 2 B's come out. Everything that did not come out stays in. So a squared, remember that's the 8th power. B to the 7th stays in. So that is the answer. Okay, 2 left. Oh, this is cruel. What's cruel is this 3rd root of 9, and 9 is 2 times 2. So we need one more 2. I'm going to show you that really clearly. The 3rd root of 3 times 3. And we need another 3rd root of 3. One more. But you have to multiply the top and the bottom by that. Okay? 16, I know, is 4 2's. So it's 2 to the 3rd times 2. X to the 7th, I know there's 2x to the 3rds, right? Times another x. And y to the 8th, I know there's 2 y to the 3rds times 2 more y's. Okay, so this is going to be the answer. We just have to make it beautiful. There's 3 third roots of 3, so that since there's 3 of them, 1 comes out. There's 3 2's, so 1 2 comes out. There's 2 x to the 3rd, so 2 of them come out. There's 2 y to the 3rd, so 2 y's come out, and everything else has to stay in. That 2 times that 3 is 6. That x and those 2 y's stay in. And that's the answer. I'll tidy it up by getting rid of this. Okay. Oh, we're lucky on this one, because if we write this like it's under 1 square root, which you can do, 50 divided by 5 is 10. M to the 7th divided by m is m to the 6th. And m to the 8th divided by, remember you subtract the powers, is n, these are n's, to the 7th. Now for every 2, something comes out. 10 is 5 times 2, there aren't 2 of anything, so that 10 has to stay in. In that m to the 6th, there's 3 m squareds, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So m to the 3rd comes out. And this n to the 7th, you can write that as n to the 6th times 1 more n. The 1 more n stays in, and n to the 6th, when you take the square root of n to the 6th, you get n squared. So that comes out. And that's your assignment. Hopefully you have a great weekend.
It sounds like you got a lot of homework to do tonight, son.